Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to the second in the video series for viewer requests. This one's going to be a little bit different in the sense that a gentleman had picked up some brackets for his aquarium. They're to hold, I think, the hoses for a canister filter. I'm not entirely sure, but it is to hold a hose in place on an aquarium. The problem was the brackets he got were for a rimless tank, and his tank has a plastic trim on it. And he asked me if I could build him ones that are the right size so that everything would fit properly. And because it was an easy build, I said, yeah, sure, not a problem, just send me the specs. So I wrote them down. That's what you saw in that piece of yellow paper at the beginning. So what I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to try using my heat gun to bend the acrylic like it is in the original. But my heat gun I use for 1/8 inch. I don't usually bend 1/4 inch like this, and it just didn't have what it took. I mean, I did this for about 10 minutes. I mean, it started to bend, and I probably could have gotten it done, but it would have taken way too long. And so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to cut all the pieces to size, like it is here. And so what I'm going to do, instead of trying to bend anything, I'm just going to weld it all together, and it should work just fine. So these are the pieces that are going to be the brackets. Those are the downpipes where the hose is going to fit through, and these are the top pieces. I've already drilled one here, and whenever I drill acrylic, as I said probably way too many times by now, whatever size the final size is usually not the size I start off with. I'll drill a hole that's slightly smaller, and then after the acrylic cools a little bit, I'll put in the bit for the final size. That way you end up with a nice snug fit. And then after that, what I'm going to do is we're going to start drilling and tapping the holes for the brackets. Now, he requested, he has these threaded nylon screws, and they are number 8s with 32 threads per inch. Fortunately, I had a tap that worked on that size, so it's all good. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drill the proper size, and then we're going to run the tap through them. Now, normally when I tap acrylic, I prefer to tap 1/4 inch holes and then only 20 threads per inch. I find the 32 is a little bit more finicky, and I had to really press hard to make sure I got a proper threading done. It did work out in the end, I think mostly because my tap is pretty new. I don't usually use that size. And anyway, it all worked out, so that's fine. So hopefully this will be a proper snug fit for him. The other thing I found out is you be very careful when you're tapping round pipe like this. It's very hard to hold it snugly in place without scratching it, and also not to squeeze it too much. I ended up cracking one of them, so I had to make a new one. It's a little bit more delicate. It didn't actually take that long, so it's no real big deal. So after this is all done, each of the down pipes like that had 2 holes threaded, and each of the brackets, 4 of them, each had 2 threaded holes as well. The nice thing is when I went to put these together here, the holes were really nice and snug, so there's actually no need to weld them at all. And so the bracket that's going to go, that's the one I broke, the bracket that's going to go up against it, once I weld it in place, it is going to be extremely snug. There's no concern whatsoever for that cracking off, so that's actually really good. And then the threaded one's going to go in the back here, and it pretty much looks like it's going to be like the one that you saw in the picture in the beginning, except of course it doesn't have the 90 bend. It's got a weld instead. So it's just a simple matter here now. We're getting near the end of this. I just have to glue these all on. It's a chemical weld. It just melts the plastic. I know I've said that many times. And then it's just a matter of putting that one on here, the other one on the front. And the nice thing about it is, because there's a fair amount of liquid in there to begin with, you do have a few seconds where you can just slightly adjust things and get it all in the right place. And then a few seconds later, after the methylene chloride evaporates, it's pretty much rock solid. And then it's going to do the back one here. This is the easy one, the one I'm not concerned about at all. Like I said, it is going to be thoroughly solid. And then that's as simple as that. Now there's one more minor adjustment I'm going to make to this. This is technically done now, but I was kind of concerned with how rigid that's going to be. Not the front one, but the one that's going to actually have the threaded fitting that's going to go on the tank itself. I'm going to demonstrate here in a few seconds. So the one with the hose, the one here in the back, I mean this one here, that is rock solid. That's not going anywhere. I can't move that no matter what. But the other one, that's going to be the forces that are going to be on that are going to be shear forces. So I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a backing piece on that, and that's going to add a little extra rigidity. So I ran it through the saw to make sure it was all nice and even, and then I was going to glue that on. So I'm going to send these off to him. Hopefully he'll leave a comment in the video below when he gets them. Lord knows when that's going to be with all the delays with postal services at the moment, but we'll see how that all works out for him. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, if you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe. That'd be wonderful. And also, if you have a suggestion for a viewer request, that is also most welcome. I don't promise I'm going to build things for everybody when they ask, but if it's something simple like this, I'm more than happy to do so. And I think these turned out pretty good. We'll find out when he goes to stick them on the tank if I got everything right. But they should be more than solid enough, and like I said, I hope it all works out. So I do have a couple more of these that I'm getting ready to do. I'm working on them currently, and they'll be up hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so. So anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, bye for now.